Hello and welcome to round 12 of the 2020 Formula Virtual World Championship here from Istanbul, Turkey. My name's Bradley Doughton and I'm joined today not by Robert Mathershaw, but she's back. It's Lily Westwood.
Hello in Turkish. I'm glad to be back for my 101st. Sorry I'm a bit late for the last one.
Today then, the drivers will be tackling 58 laps of this 5.338 kilometre circuit, including that famous turn 8. Only two drivers have ever won here in the past. Adrian Simon won the first three, but it was Klaas van Snelheid who was victorious last year. Can he repeat that today? Let's take a look through the grid then, and it's Enrique Ruiz who lines up on pole position. He's broken the Downton and Klaas van Snelheid streak, but he has got one alongside. Nathaniel Powers starts from second. He's on the soft tyres in amongst a lot of medium tyred runners. Third then goes to Adrian Simon. Heading up row 2 ahead of Klaas van Snelheid, the Dutchman was on provisional pole but crashed in qualifying yesterday with 10 minutes to go when the track improved and ends up in 4th. The two firsts make up row 3 once again. Felix Perez ahead of Will Hoskins, who starts on the hard tyre. Interesting to see how he goes on that compound. Thierry Zylander is the best of the rest then. He lines up in 7th for Phoenix, just ahead of Johan Halvorsen, who returns to form for North Star, just as they about need it. Completing the top 10, Puccio Giordano is 9th in the Westwood, just ahead of Dominicas Spirinas, who pulls out another solid qualifying performance in that Ocelot then. Just outside on row 6, we've got the two Ingrams. Jean Matson heads James Vasquez, but they'll be hoping the Colombian can get past early on as he is on a softer compound of tyre. Matson running on the hards. Starting in 13th, Nick Addison. Season best qualifying there for the Australian, and an absolute brilliant performance. He is slightly higher due to some penalties, but he'll take that. Sergio Alvarez lines up alongside on row 7. Carl Beckenbauer was disappointed with 15th in comparison to his teammate. Enzo Dominicali is another driver on the hard tyres. He starts from 16th in the second of the Franklin cars. On row 9 we have Elroy Wagner in the lead of the Lopez. Once again a disappointing qualifying performance for the Swiss team. After some strong practice pace, Gabriele Garcia lines up in the second North Star in 18th position. Felix Bayer, Meteor make their first race since France, and Bayer's 19th on the grid, aided by penalties admittedly. Hunter Ryan only got one lap in qualifying, lines up 20th. Gianni Ledesma was the slowest qualifier. He's 21st on the grid, just ahead of Alar Kanga, who failed to set a time yesterday due to the technical issues that he suffered. And on the back two rows, the two teams who were excluded from qualifying. Lucas line up 23rd and 24th. Marcus Thunder was fastest of the four drivers who were eventually chucked out of qualifying. And on the back row, the two Chimas, Timo Kinnaman leading Nikolai Milkovic. So as we go down to the grid then, it's Enrique Ruiz in pole position on the right, Nathaniel Powers alongside him on the front row on the left. The lights go out now and we're racing in Turkey then. It looks like it's a great start from Enrique Ruiz. Adrian Simon following him down the inside line into turn 1, but it's Nathaniel Powers then. Powers sweeps around the outside and into the lead. At turn 1 goes Nathaniel Powers. Ruiz falls to second then. Simon third ahead of Klaas van Snelheid as the two firsts. Will Hoskins and Felix Perez go side by side for 5th position. Meanwhile behind them, Halvorsen is up to 7th. Zylander loses another place to Zveranas as the whole midfield are wheel to wheel.
Yeah, that absolutely was not how it was meant to go first there. They really wanted to get Hoskins behind Perez, as look at that, Zylander's just being swamped here. He's just not got the grip on this opening lap. Cold tyres are really bothering him.
Yeah, Zylander then lost 2 places already. Now coming under pressure from James Vasquez, who looks up the inside. That gives Giordano the chance around the outside, and Giordano sweeps into 10th place. Vasquez under pressure now from his teammate as they approach turn 8 for the first time.
Yeah, and I think Alvarez started a lot lower than 14th, didn't he? He's done quite well on the start.
I don't think he was an awful lot lower. I think he's pretty much where he qualified. Beckenbauer seems to, I think he's made up a few places though.
No, he's exactly where he qualified.
No, now he has.
Hey, nice. You go, Carl. Oh, of course, he's on those softer tyres. He's probably going to be looking to carve through the midfield here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most drivers on the mediums today. Oh, here we go. We've got action with the first going into the chicane.
Yeah, Perez then around the outside of Will Hoskins. Ooh. And he'll be very keen to get that one done, and indeed he does. Perez back up into 5th place then as Hoskins on those hard tyres. They look as though they're losing a lot of pace already. They're a second back from Klaas van Snelheid in 4th after just one lap.
Giordano and Zylander are going wheel to wheel now.
Hoskins has lost out to Halvorsen. Halvorsen up into 6th then. Hoskins sweeps back around the outside of turn 1 to retake 6th position, but those hard tyres not firing up at all here in Turkey.
Absolutely not. I think from the looks of things, A, you want anything softer than hard tyres, and B, you don't want to be on that inside line in turn 1. You just get pinched onto the apex there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely better to be on the racing line around the outside.
About second.
As Felix Perez then now far clear of Will Hoskins. Johan Halverson's got Dominicas Veranas all over the back of him. Ocelot will be really pleased with this start.
Yeah, they'll, you know, this has been, obviously they struggled a bit in practice yesterday. Hunter Ryan had engine issues, I think, and Zviranas was down in like 20th place. But yesterday, practice was Friday. But Zviranas really pulled that lap out of the bag yesterday evening, didn't he?
He certainly did, yeah. It was a stellar qualifying effort from Zviranas. Meanwhile, teammate Hunter Ryan, his problems persisted from practice. He only got one run in right at the end of qualifying, and it wasn't really enough to do anything with. But Ryan's made up some reasonable ground already early on in this race. The two Meteors, meanwhile, as expected, have pretty much gone backwards. They're already mixing it with the Chimas off the back row of the grid. As here we see the two Lucas cars then putting pressure on Gabriele Garcia. They're all trying to go 3 wide into the final couple of corners, and that was never going to work at all. And it's Marcus Thunder who comes out on top then, as that's Alar Kanga taking advantage, somehow taking 2 cars there.
Yeah, after a pretty dismal qualifying there, where he obviously failed to set a lap time. Yeah, and now he's oh, you might get swamped. Yeah, no, Garcia goes back through, and he's going to be trying to. And Kanga's just lost all the ground he made up. Yeah,
caught himself out there by taking the inside line, trying to go down through on Marcus Thunder into turn 1. But yeah, Garcia and Davenport, as we say, swept back through on that one.
As yeah, just further proof that those hard tyres are not firing up for anyone. Milky Tits is a second off of the Meteors.
Yeah, really not working at all there. Who else is on the hard tyres then? Who have we know we've got Hoskins, who's now already nearly 3 seconds behind Perez.
Oof. Past that, I think you have to go down to Matson. No, not Matson. They're both in the mediums. You have to go down a fair way. I think Alvarez might. No, I think.
Wait, it is Matson. Matson is on the hard tyres.
Matson's doing quite well then, sticking within half a second. I do wonder if maybe Zylander is acting as a bit of a cork in the bottle for that.
I was going to say, yeah, Zylander doesn't seem to have an awful lot of pace at the moment, does he? As that's Nick Addison then in 13th, covering the inside line from Beckenbauer. I think the German is going to easily sweep around the outside there, and indeed he does. As behind we've got Alvarez and Wagner side by side as well. Wagner will have the inside line for final corner, but no, Alvarez takes it. He's going to have a look at Nick Addison as well, but I don't think the Argentine's quite going to pull that one off.
Absolutely not, as I think Giordano was coming under threat from Vasquez there, so that's going to be interesting to see now, as we've got... that's contact, and round goes Nick Addison and Sergio Alvarez. Then the two of them will come together, and that's caught Hunter Ryan out as well. They pinched him nearly into the pit wall, and it doesn't look like either of them have too much damage, but look at the gaggle of cars we've got behind them now. Absolutely. That, do you know what, Bradley, that could actually be a really key oh my god, there's a whole mess of cars. Meteor trying to get involved, but their car doesn't work.
Isn't it just, you've got Alvarez, Addison, and then everyone else is 19th.
Oh my god. Yes, so what this could do now is it's create a bit of a rift between the upper midfield and the back of the midfield. Kinnaman going around the outside, doesn't quite have the grip, just runs out of it at the edge of the track there, but that was a pretty spicy attempt. So here we go.
Alvarez, so this Alvarez just turned in far too early.
That's really uncharacteristic of the Argentine there. That was really silly, and they got stuck together as well. Yeah, they absolutely. Oh, sorry, this is Klaas van Snelheid then on Adrian Simon. Van Snelheid started 4th. He's now 3rd. Then the Dutchman lifts himself up onto the rostrum with a pretty impressive move around the outside there of the Frenchman, who looked really squarely through the chicane as well. As Beckenbauer pressuring the Ingrams, we've got Wagner showing his nose at the inside of Lucas. Oh, that's Nick Addison. Wait, that's Antonio Minicali on Wagner. Oh, and Alvarez is getting involved again. Buddy, relax. Alvarez absolutely desperate to make up ground here early on in the race, isn't he? After qualifying some way back from his teammate. Yeah, but, I'm surprised to see both him and Addison carry on. As Ryan gets pinched on the inside there. Has back out of it. I was always going to be driving into a wedge though. Bit $1 late and a day short. No.
But I tell you what, it's not working out for Kanga at the moment, is it? He was trying to make some ground up earlier on. He's now back in 24th. He's behind Felix Bayer.
Yeah, he got really mired down in that little what's the word I'm looking for?
Gaggle?
Yeah, or little brawl, I guess. Of cars. That melee,
Squabble.
that's a good one.
Melee,
Got mired
yes.
down in the melee, that's a good one. I like that. And it's alliterative. Oh, look at that. Beckenbauer's really putting those softer tyres to good use. 2 steps softer than obviously Matson in front. He's going to be looking to make a pass very soon.
Yeah, certainly will. He's just looking towards the front then. Will Hoskins is, I mean, what is that? 3.5 seconds now behind his teammate?
Yeah, he's, yeah. So
As
he's losing
Adrian
about 7
Simon has
seconds a
already
lap.
fallen over a second back from Klaas van Snelheid as well, who looks as though now he's closing in on Rico Ruiz. Now, you know, let's not forget, Klaas had the pace. He was superbly quick in practice, as that's the two Franklins.
Whoa, that was something else. That's Davenport going around the outside of, I think, Domenicali, and also defending from...
Yeah, as they're now side by side in the final corner then, and that is Addison going through on Enzo Domenicali, who's lost 2 places in, 3 corners.
Yeah, that's not too good.
He's going to take it back here though, on his teammate, round the outside. Addison gives him the room.
Oh, this is not what Franklin would want in. Obviously, Addison already having a really rough time of it, being punted down by Alvarez, who unfortunately has come off the beneficiary there, and now he's stuck behind their hard-tired runner.
I think, to be fair, that Phoenix is far quicker.
It is, absolutely, but you know, it's you know, I forgot what I was going to say there, so just words.
The
What I
one
was
who
gonna
would
say
be
earlier,
disappointed with all of this is Alak Kanga. He's mired down in all of this and making no progress.
Oh yeah, that's not great for him. But then we saw in Bahrain that the car has difficulty following other vehicles, which is.
I mean, to be fair, I think that was just the soft tyres in Bahrain. They just did not work whatsoever.
Quite possibly. Speaking of soft tyres, we're riding on board now with Carl Beckenbauer, looking for a route past Jean Matz's Ingram. Just doesn't seem to want to commit. Just feeling out, I guess, feeling out the Frenchman's lines. Maybe he's gonna go for a little dive at the inside. It's not gonna work because that's not really been proven as a good. The inside line just doesn't seem to work for any of the overtaking spots. As we've got both the Franklins again, wheel to wheel. Addison round the outside of his teammate. Hunter Ryan's about to follow him through. He's going to have the inside for the next corner.
Yeah, but that'll turn into the outside for the final turn, and that should give Hunter Ryan. Oh, and they've tangled then. That's Enzo Domenicali spinning around in front of the back of the pack, and he's going to fall right to last position.
Can I just say, Domenicali with an excellent display there of how you handle spinning in front of a pack. You just get out of the way if you can safely and wait until they've passed to rejoin. That was
almost definitely, as that was Kanga then. In all of that, he'd managed to get past Felix Bayer, but defended the inside line to turn 1, and Bayer just swept back around the outside.
Oh, it's just not Alal's day. Mind you, he looks like he might be getting alongside now. Nope, never mind.
Yeah, not working out then at the moment for the Estonian.
That's pressuring him. No, that's Milkovic. That's Milkovic. Oh, it's been a rough weekend for Lopez. It's just gone from bad to worse since.
Wow, I mean, it started out quite well for Kanga on Friday. He was 8th in practice. You know, there was a glimmer of hope there for Lopez. They might not just be on the back page in qualifying, but
really put the bell-shaped thing on top of the candle there.
Yeah, didn't they just? That glimmer of hope very quickly became darkness.
So, what's really interesting to me here is Matson, despite defending from Beckenbauer here, well, not really defending so much, but he's not nearly lost as much time to his teammate as Hoskins has.
No, but I mean, he is starting to drop back now, as you say. He is obviously starting to defend a little, I should imagine, from Beckenbauer. But yeah, Matson, a really strong opening stint so far on these hard tyres, whereas anyone else who's on them really seems to be struggling. I think the two Meteors are actually, which, I mean, aside from the fact that they're so incredibly slow anyway, probably contributes to their significant lack of pace at the moment. But yeah, and then behind Matson and Beckenbauer, due to that, obviously, incident we saw earlier, quite a big gap now opened up back to Marcus Thunder in 14th.
Yeah, quite a big gap that Powers, if he needs to pit early, can easily slot himself into with some clear air. So that's it's pretty good for him. But I reckon by the time we get round to Power's pit stop, he might even have one in hand over Hoskins. He's just not got the pace today.
That's exactly what I was just saying. I mean, we're only 8 laps in. I'd imagine. What do we reckon? The softs are probably on for a 3-stop, 3-4.
I'm going to bet on a 2-3 stop.
Ooh, okay.
I reckon the mediums are going to be just shy of a 1-stop. As for the extras, I reckon they're going to do about 4 or 5 stops.
Yeah, we shall absolutely see. But either way, I think it's about an 18-second pit delta here. So Power's already got what 2/3 of the time that he needs on Will Hoskins.
As now Hoskins has got this little gaggle catching him. Pretty much all of the midfield teams. Right
it's
on
ridiculous
his bum
that a team that have won 2 races are under pressure from what 6 guys in the midfield. As that is Hunter Ryan around the outside of Nick Addison for 18.
That was a nice clean move there. As that's not
unlike
a nice
that.
Yeah, that's thank you perfectly giving me a segue there, Davenport. Though I'm inclined to believe Alvarez was partially responsible for the contact. As he sweeps on the outside, Oh, hang on.
What is going on there then? That was Carson Davenport successfully defending on the inside line at turn 1.
I just wonder if, because obviously we didn't see Alvarez or Addison pit after that contact, I just wonder if maybe Alvarez is nursing a bit of damage here. The car does look a bit unstable. Could have floor damage potentially.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if he hadn't picked anything up, or as I should also imagine that perhaps the team on the radio just like, Sergio, calm down a little, we need to get to the end. We could still, in theory, score some decent points today, but well, we're not going to score anything if we're not in the race.
There's a very good point. At the end of the day, you have to be in it to win it, as Gandhi once said. I don't think that's an actor. Sorry, I might be mixing it up with Nelson Mandela. So I'm sure Halverson might be looking for a way past the first here on this lap.
Almost definitely. In fact, he's down the inside then into the final sequence of corners, but Hoskins is going to hold that line on the outside. I wonder if Halverson's going to get a run into turn 1 then. It's Hoskins looks quite tight at the final corner, but I don't know. Halverson's not close enough, is he?
No, that Ford. Well, they've both got 4 power units. Shut up. Don't laugh at me.
The Ford can't catch the Ford. As behind them, that is Beckenbauer.
About to lose the place.
Yeah. Oh, it's Giordano.
Yeah. I don't know why he went to the inside line there. That was silly move, and I don't think he's got anyone else to blame but himself.
I was thinking it was the second Ingram-Westwood battle, slightly further back.
Yes, no. Beckenbauer stuck behind Matson. Just John Matson. Obviously, he's been to this circuit every year that we've come here, and he knows damn well that as long as you don't deviate from the racing line, you are usually going to be okay.
Meanwhile, Beckenbauer probably hasn't been here at all. He seems to do 4 races and then disappear most seasons.
Exactly, he just wanders off.
Beckenbauer's never actually visited Turkey.
When we told him he was going to Turkey, he said, "Wait, I thought you eat those." That was a bad joke. It's okay.
It was terrible. It was on board with Klaas van Snelheid then. He's he's comfortably gapped Adrian Simon nearly 2.5, 3 seconds clear, and he's on the back already of second placed Enrique Ariz. So Van Snelheid then, who obviously, I mean, he was looking rapid. He was quick in practice on Friday. He was looking rapid in qualifying yesterday until that crash, about 10 minutes from the end of the session, which the cameras didn't catch. But we know he did put it in the wall. Then ended up starting 4th, determined to make up for that today, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the crew working tirelessly through the night to actually get that car ready for him. And as Beckenbauer looks to the inside, it's never going to work. No, Jean Matson just covers him off nicely, gives him the space. As we've got, that's a 5 stop there for the extra stop. The extra stoppers, the extra stoppers, extra softs, either or.
Yeah, certainly is. That's going to be a long day.
So, well, mind you, they're not even going to come out in last. They're not even.
That's how slow the meteors are.
Oh, hang on. Davenport is in last.
Hang
on. Yep.
No, he's not.
Fresh, cold extras versus
I think Ledesma's going to get him. No, he's not. Davenport's got the straight line speed to pull ahead. So there we go. Yeah, not last.
Ledesma there, almost being able to not carry the wooden spoon for a little bit, but Decides he prefers it. That's how he stirs his pasta.
Yep, firmly glued into his cockpit.
Oh, you had me worried for a minute there, Bradley. I'm not gonna lie.
As that's Dominicali and Davenport then around the outside of Nikolai Milkovic. Milkovic going to lose 2 places in one here, is he? I think he is, because Davenport will have the inside line for turn 8, and you're not going to get 2 cars side by side through there.
Oh, look at that! Do you see that little sideways
wiggle
from Davenport? He just kept his foot in, and the car actually came back to him. That was
it was the wiggle from Milkovic I was watching.
Oh, I didn't see that. Mind you, I should have probably looked out for a good old wobble from Milky Tits.
As yeah, that puts Davenport now up into 24th, and let's be fair, those fresh extra softs, they're going to be rapid, aren't they? So he's going to be very keen to make up this ground early on, and I think he's going to go straight past Dominicali here, round the outside.
Oh!
Wow, look at the extra grip he's got. That's ridiculous.
Never mind the extra grip. That dummy was phenomenal. He read Addison. No, he read Domenicali like a book. That was insanely good.
Absolutely did. Yeah, brilliant move from Davenport, and he's already on the back of Felix Bayer. As we see behind that is Dominicali defending on the outside line into turn 1 from Milkovic. Milkovic is going to come under pressure from Ledesma.
Another wobble. Is there something wrong with that car? Maybe a slow puncture?
I don't know. I can't believe we're watching a battle for last. This is brilliant.
I was about to say it's riveting. What am I, like 78?
I'm also slightly surprised that Meteor aren't comfortably 25th and 26th already, to be frank.
Yeah.
There's Davenport already passed Felix Bayer then. Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, this is the first time we've seen a Meteor in a race at all since France?
France. I was about to say Africa.
No, I think Ledesma made it somehow in France, but they haven't been seen since.
Because he's a healthy boy. Well, no, they made it in France because they got a good result in Africa. So
no, because Bayer didn't qualify.
Did not?
No, they were in Q1 in France.
Oh, I didn't. Oh.
But Ledesma made it. But they haven't made it since. So they've made it here.
Halverson's got past Hoskins somewhere.
Deadline.
Missed it.
He has. Yeah, I was just going to mention. I was just going to finish the Meteor conversation, but yeah, I just noticed down on the timing screen, Johan Halverson is up into 6th then, ahead of Will Hoskins. Those hard tyres are not working at all for the British driver.
No, now he's got the young
Lithuanian.
Lithuanian. That's Albanian. My name is Bored. No, he's from Kazakhstan.
That's right. I thought you were going to call him an albino. So.
Hey, it's albino, like a dino, you know, like the old annual thing. Do you remember?
The comic book.
Yeah, they also did like a big book every year, like an annual. I got like one of them and I never read it.
Dennis the Menace.
Menace the Dentist. As Vasquez looked a little slow there through turn 8. As they go through the chicane now, they're coming up to this long ass straight.
Yeah,
why did I describe it that way?
Well, still got Giordano right with him, Vasquez has. But I'm finding it hard to believe that we're watching Will Hoskins under pressure from Dominik Asviranas.
Yeah, pushing down on me. That's
That was terrible.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I know.
But bearing in mind the pace difference that we've seen in recent races between the first and the Ocelot, and how Halverson's already a second up the road.
Oh god, he is, isn't he? He's really dropped the hammer, so to speak.
No, I just think that's how slow Hoskins is. I think all of these guys behind have more pace.
I'll tell you who has got a fair bit of pace at the moment. Wagner's looking a little racy.
Yeah, let's not forget Elroy Wagner on the soft tyres then.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Davenport sets the fastest lap. Bit of clear air, and he's 5 seconds clear. He's 6 seconds clear of Bayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thunder's already done Garcia and Kanga.
Imagine if the extras turn out to be the pick of the day. That would be like ridiculous.
Wow.
We'll have to wait and see how it unfolds, folks. We've got another some laps. Listen, look, I forgot that Rob wasn't going to be here today. I didn't prepare myself to do maths. Klaus, on the other hand, has prepared himself to do battle with Ruiz. He's right up the chuff of the Brazilian.
That was a beautiful segue. Very nicely done. Yeah, Klaus all over the back then of Enrique Ruiz. for second place. The pair of them, though, 5.5 seconds behind race leader Nathaniel Powers. But let's not forget, Powers is on those soft tyres and, well, will more than likely have to make an extra stop or two.
At least an extra stop, yeah. I have to admit, Powers is not quite... The tyres are just starting to come away from him a bit. Hang on. I've missed something.
It's... Vasquez has got Zylander.
Hey!
Yeah, James Vasquez then through and up into 9th place past Thierry Zylander. The Belgian had a brilliant qualifying, best of the rest in 7th position. Normally, he's fairly decent in races, but it's not working out for him here. No, surely not. That's Bayer overtaking Dominicali.
I think because Rob did speak about this. There's less of like the hard tyres seem to neutralise the. Oh my god!
So yeah, Dominicali was very slow through that section. I wonder if he's got a problem.
He's got a problem. Yeah, he's slowing down. I think. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, but that is really concerning. That's a huge gap to pull out in one corner in a straight.
Yeah, it certainly is.
I would probably rate the Honda Power Unit over the Lamborghini.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, poor old Lamborghini, because they've not... I do feel for them. They've not really had the chance to gather any data and improve their power unit.
No, it's... Yeah.
They get practice, but nothing simulates a race like a race. Like...
Powers pits. I thought we were just about to see something because the time was fluctuating. Nathaniel Powers dives into the pits then at the end of lap 15 here in Turkey, and that then is a solid nailed-on 3-stopper.
That's actually a pretty good 3-stopper as well. They don't really waste too much tyre life.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty spot on there.
Where's he going to come back out then? I think he's going to come back out in 5th place, and this could serve him very, very well indeed, and he does. 12.5 seconds behind the race leader, but some 5 seconds clear of Johan Halvorsen. That is the job that his countryman Will Hoskins has done for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just created that nice little rift as we predicted. Interesting. Oh, Beckenbauer finally got past Matson and didn't pit as well. So that's a weird choice. I just wondered, 17, 34, 51. No, he's just costing himself time. Beckenbauer.
Oh yeah, of course, he's on the softs, isn't he?
Yes. Who else didn't pit? Everyone's not the softs.
I don't know. Both the Lopez's pitted. Wagner's rejoined in 21st.
Yep. So it's just Beckenbauer that went the extra lap. All he's done is 16, 32, 48. So he's just going to have fresher tyres at the end. Which is, he's not going to put to good use anyway, because he just spends his time stuck behind other drivers. He doesn't go for overtakes. I'd be really mean.
Wagner's rejoined in, as that's Klaas van Snelheid lurking to the inside at the in the final sequence of corners. That one was never going to come off.
No, that was.
Way up! He tries again at the final corner. Klaas is desperate to make this one work, isn't he?
He's looking pretty keen.
I just wonder if he's going to force Ruiz into defending at turn 1. And whether he's going to be able to... Nope, never mind.
Nothing there. It would have been really cool though if he did.
Well, I'm just thinking, he looks an awful lot quicker at the moment, and Ruiz is really having to defend to hold him back. Meanwhile, Nathaniel Powers has already closed back up to these guys by 2.5 seconds as Beckenbauer finally dives into the pits then.
Yeah, obviously, I don't think Powers going to have too much issue clearing Perez, and then he's going to have another like 6 seconds of just clean air. This strategy has been a bit of a masterclass here from Downton at the moment. We have yet to see how the mediums are going to pan out. I think we're expecting, based on the softs, we'll probably get a 2-stop.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
But yeah, at the moment it does look like Powers is capable of making up that pit stop.
Yeah, it certainly does look as though it's working out quite nicely at the moment. He didn't quite pull the time I think we expected in the opening stint. But yeah, these fresh tyres really aiding the Brit at the moment as he rapidly closes up to the back of Felix Perez in 4th place then. But not as rapidly as Klaas van Snelheid, his teammate, is closing on to Ruiz. Van Snelheid pulls out on the outside line, and I think this is going to be easy for the Dutchman, then sweeps around Ruiz, and the Brazilian has no answer.
Yeah, I don't know why he decided to go defensive into that final section there. He just cost himself time all the way through. And
look at the gap that Klaas has pulled already. As Powers... Wow! That... I mean, Perez left the door open and Powers walked straight through it.
Absolutely.
On his way to fastest lap as well.
That was a swagger through the door there, Bradley. It wasn't just a walk, that was a full-on Well, I was going to say frog march. That wasn't what it was at all.
I was going to say, but I don't. I mean, I don't think Perez expected him to be able to pull anything out with that from that far back. To be honest, I think it looked as though it caught Powers by surprise as well.
Yeah, I think he just, it's like when you open the curtains on a warm, sunny day. Like, he was just like, okay, right, this is great, let's do it. That was, well, I was right. He didn't have any.
Yeah, so much extra pace and grip and traction for the Downton driver, who's already now over a second clear of Perez already. As looks to set about chasing down Adrian Simon for the final podium position. As we've got here, this is Marcus Thunder right behind Timo Kinnaman, and on those extra soft tyres compared to the mediums or the hards.
Mediums.
Mediums.
Kinnaman's on mediums. Milky Tips is on hards.
That's why he's in between the two meteors.
22-second gap.
Yes. I shouldn't imagine this one's going to be too difficult for Thunder. He's breezed past several people already.
Yeah, but don't forget, Timo's a wry old dog, and if there's one thing, like I was about to like kind of do the thing where I was like explaining something really cool, Kinnaman gets past, and I look like an idiot, but I realised I'm at the wrong part of the lap for it.
Yeah, so I don't think anything's going to happen to turn 8. So just hold on a little, come back to it, cycle back.
We'll come back around to that. It's fine.
We've got Giordano now pressuring Thierry Zylander for what is the final. Vasquez has got Zvirinas as well.
He has an all.
He's up into 8th.
Yeah, so Vasquez is on a bit of a charge here. The car almost looks like his tyres have come back to him a bit. He was struggling for a little while, and now they're kind of phasing back in, which is really odd because none of the other medium runners have really had that.
I'll tell you what though, Hoskins is, I mean obviously I assume Vasquez and Zvirinas were battling for a bit. Hoskins has used that to his advantage because he's about 2.5 seconds up the road now.
Yeah, it looks like he could use every second he can get, as that's Kanga almost pushing Domenicali through the corner there. He just, I don't know, man, he's having a bad day.
He is, isn't well, to be fair, neither of the Lopez's are having a particularly good day at the moment. As we go on board with Nathaniel Powers through turn 8. Currently sat in 4th position, one of the only leading runners to have made a pit stop so far because he's on the soft tyres, and now rapidly closing in on Adrian Simon.
We are also now nailed on for a 2-stop for the mediums.
We are. Will any of them dive in this lap, I wonder?
I would say
I think it'll be a few more,
20 or 21 would probably be a safer bet.
Well, yeah, and I think also looking at the, so the extra softs pitted on lap 10, the the softs on 15. So yeah, maybe 20, 21, 22. I think we're due to pit stop very soon.
Giordano and Zylander going wheel to wheel into the final section. I think Giordano might have this.
Yeah, Zylander covering the inside line. Then that is not going to work, and indeed the Italian sweeps around the outside and puts Thierry Zylander outside of the points.
Absolutely, which is a big shame for the Belgian because he's needed a good result all season, and any time he's looked in the spot to get one, it's just not gone his way, has it?
Yeah, Zylander should have scored probably in 4 or 5 different races so far, and some of them like Silverstone, a real big hatful of points, and every time he's been in that great position, something's gone wrong. And it's usually mechanical with the car. And all this from, the man who was a rookie last year didn't have a single retirement.
No, finished every race. I mean, he was a bit more disappointing last year, but he definitely learned from that and came back. I think a much better driver. He was
consistent last year.
Well, yeah,
I think he's like
worse than Alvarez.
Nearly. Well, no, I mean he beat Alvarez in qualifying. Okay, his race pace wasn't quite there. But, I mean, nearly every race he finished was between, I think, like 9th and 12th.
To be fair, you could be onto something there. I have a short memory, though. So, what have we got going on? Ruiz has dropped a second back from class here. Powers is about a lap or two from coming up on Simon.
I was say we've got the top 4 all in one straight now.
Oh boy.
Well, we did until
it's gonna get
turn 1.
Yeah, that's class. That's why no one likes you. That's
well,
not, I didn't.
I mean, I think his team would disagree.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's never won a world championship.
Actually, I mean, not
in fairness,
not the fact that he's never won a world championship. As in comes that's Thunder then for his second pit stop on the extra soft tyres.
That's early.
No, it's not. Lap 20.
Get on lap 11. Oh no, lap 20.
No,
Okay,
it was
you're
10.
right.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I should
I
imagine.
can do I know my 10 times table, Bradley. Okay.
Well, I just thought I'd double check, you know. You can never be too sure.
Understandable, to be
As that's
fair.
Carl Beckenbauer, having just come out of the
Refusing to
pits,
make an
trying
overtake.
to overtake Timo Kinnaman.
Yeah, here's a replacement.
Yes.
Announced very late on Thursday. A little bit into Friday.
Well, to be fair, Kinnaman was announced a while ago.
Yeah, informally announced. It was kind of one of those things. We haven't officially declared it, but it's no secret. We're happy to have Timo back in the team.
But it was. Do you want to talk about his teammate?
Yeah. So
Not his teammate at the moment, obviously, but.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk about Milkovic in 25th place.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's having a hard day, man. And I've
We're
got
only
to
22
say,
laps in.
yeah, it's not looking good. But yeah, a lineup I'm personally very excited to see. I'll try and get through this before Powers catches up to see when makes an overtake. Jules Barkley, young Canadian, currently fighting for the VWRS title with I think Matteo Zatici.
Maximilian Thunstrom and Danilo Farini, who obviously we already know will be stepping up to Formula Virtual next year with Franklin. The four of them. Right, and there's a couple of other guys, to be fair, who aren't too far back either, like Max Meyer, who will also be making his debut next year for AMR.
Yes, with Hammer, alongside Finn Schneider,
Indeed.
I believe. Yeah, so we are getting to that point of the season where we're getting a lot of lineup announcements. But yeah, I think Jules Barkley's been showing a lot of potential. Look at the group differential.
Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it?
So here we go then. Powers is definitely going to be a bit of a compromised run there through the chicane, but I think he should be alright. He's got that increased traction with the fresher tyres, he's got the slipstream. He might have gone too early though.
I don't know, I think this is going to be easy for Powers.
No, he's had to back out a bit.
Yeah,
There's
maybe
no
not
way to get
actually. He's looks like he's hitting the limiter, doesn't he? And no, yeah, you're quite right. Powers not able to do anything with that run.
Yeah, no, that was not how he wanted that to go, I suppose. Obviously, you know, he wants to be coming through really quickly because otherwise it's going to be really hard to make up that pit stop. Mind you, he's kind of already done it almost.
I was going to say, I mean, to be fair, once these guys then peel off and he gets the clear air, he's... Yeah, I think this is looking really good for Powers, isn't it?
These mediums are lasting quite a way.
They are, but we're still, what, some 6 laps from a one-stop window?
About 6.5.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, I'd expect them to pull in any lap, but
yeah, likewise.
You know, they've gone a lot longer than we were anticipating, I think.
Yeah, as well as, you know, we were just saying we thought it was going to be around 2021. We're on to lap 23 now. So yeah, they have eked them out a little bit. Not sure whether that's going to be particularly useful to them, to be honest.
Not overly. They would have been better off pitting earlier. But
I suppose it will mean that their tyres towards the end of the race will be slightly fresher.
Ooh. Powers just put...
Whoa!
Oh,
Nathaniel Powers then. That is turn 9, and Powers sweeps around the outside into the fast left-right chicane. I didn't see that one coming at all.
What a phenomenal overtake. We've seen another excellent dummy. He's taken one out of the Davenport playbook there. That's phenomenal stuff.
Hasn't he just? A brilliant move there then from Nathaniel Powers to not overtaking a traditional place at all. Here we go. This is going to be on board with Adrian Seymour. Powers arrived into the corner so much more speed. I didn't think he was going to make it.
No, I think for a second he also was a little bit concerned, but yeah, he came through. He managed to come through really nicely, really cleanly. It was a really good overtake. Speaking of overtake, Carl Beckenbauer doesn't like making them. He's sat behind Kinnaman for a couple of laps now.
He is, and he's now been caught by Elroy Wagner then, so the two of them on the same strategy. They were some way apart earlier on, and Wagner now with a run on his countryman. Surely this is going to be the chance. Is he going to get the two of them? They're going to go 3 wide into the left-hander, and Wagner does indeed get past both Beckenbauer and Kinnaman, while Carl Beckenbauer is still stuck behind his Westwood replacement as Wagner, from behind them both, disappears off now into the distance.
He did this exact same thing in Germany though. He got stuck and he just wouldn't make an overtake. He wouldn't try anything, and he settles in position. And I think that's where being away has kind of it's weird because he started off the season and he seemed to have the beating of Giordano on 1 lap pace, but as the season's progressed, Puccio is. I think that might be more to do with where Carl has raced with the team before, and also where he's been out of the sport for so long. His fitness levels, his focus throughout the season is somewhat diminished. But sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, I was just going to agree. I don't know what it is, but Beckenbauer, yeah, he just doesn't quite seem to have that something. We've got Ruiz and Simon in the pits.
Killer instinct.
Ruiz and Simon then, the two Mattershall Porsches into the pits at the end of lap 24. Interestingly, Klaas van Snelheid on the in the race lead doesn't. Nor does Perez then. I mean, not that it's going to make any difference in terms of, you know, how many pit stops they make, but I wonder if this is Mattershall Porsche opting for the undercut.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, they're not looking like they can live with down to non-pure pace. Like, well, they can live with them, but they can't like catch them. I think they're just looking at trying something different. Alvarez also going in for a pit. What? But yeah, I was absolutely right. They were really pushing, like knocking on the door of a one stop there, but I don't think anyone's going to make it. Yeah, I think really interesting how only 4 medium-tied runners actually chose to enter the pits there.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, you'd imagine the rest of them will box this time round then, because obviously there's a. I mean, we've got a good portion of the field on the medium tyres, so this is going to be a busy pit lane this time round.
Yeah,
but Nathaniel Powers, now that he's free of the two Mattershall Porsches, has closed about 2 seconds on Klaas van Snelheid. So those are now reasonably warm softs, are still a lot quicker, as indeed in comes the race leader then.
Absolutely. So see how this stop is. He should come out in front of the Mattershall Porsches, but they're obviously gaining. He's in the pits, dummy. Actually, I'm not so sure. No, he will. He's fine.
Yeah, I think Klaas is going to come out comfortably clear, isn't he? Perez hasn't pitted again, has he? No, Perez has gone on for another lap.
Perez, there's no way he's trying to eke out a one stop.
Well, he's only 3 laps away now. It's Klaas van Snelheid. Actually, that's closer than I was expecting.
Oh. That is pretty close. The undercut really powerful here.
Yeah, so they certainly gained a little bit of time there, but not enough.
I'm interested to see if Vasquez, because Ingram really got their pit stop wrong last time, and Matson ended up stuck. Couldn't exit his pit box. And yeah, Vasquez has lost a place, I think. No, that's Halverson, who's already in front.
No, Matson's gained a place past Halverson. Matson hasn't pitted. Nor's Giordano then. So yeah, so we've got a few. So it's not a cut and dry one lap or the next, is it? There are a few different strategies going on here.
And they've not found themselves really in dirty air, but well, except for Vasquez actually, he's found himself behind Wagner. As I'll
tell you what though, Vasquez really closed up on Halverson in that pit stop. Bearing in mind Halverson was clear of Hoskins.
Oh yeah, so it looks like they learned from their little mistake last time out, because he did feel bad for Matson. He was just sat there watching cars stream by. He couldn't go into the fast lane because it wasn't safe.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
All of his hard work in the opening stint had just been undone.
Actually, I think that might have been what happened to Johan Halverson, because if you look at the time, I mean, we're thinking it was about 18 seconds or so for a pit stop.
Yeah. And
well, Halverson was ahead of Hoskins, and he's now, he's 18 seconds behind him.
That's a rough draw. Didn't the wow, words, right? They're hard.
Absolutely. Ruiz pumps in the fastest lap.
Yeah.
It's I'll be honest, I'm not sure that one's going to last much longer. But
no, but that's, I do like that. It's a little bit of a game on kind of approach from the Brazilian.
Certainly is. He's only a second and a half back from Klaas van Snelheid, to be fair. As Perez exits the pits in a very lonely 6th place.
Yeah, he's just running his own race. He knows he's going to get a 5th place. He won't get anything higher than that, barring misfortune. As Giordano has definitely lost out from the undercut there, and finds himself at the back of that train again with all the work to do.
Back behind Thierry Zylander.
Exactly, almost with his teammate in front of him as well.
I'll tell you what, it's worked out well at the moment for Wagner.
Yeah, to be fair, he's
I mean, where did he come from?
His mum. No, Yeah, no. Obviously, be putting in, we imagine, about 3 or 4 laps. Elroy Wagner really putting in a solid effort in a car that, let's be honest, isn't realistically a points contender on merit at the moment.
No, it certainly doesn't seem to be. And to be fair, nor is Wagner. I mean, he's only picked up what, 2 points finishes all year in a car that his teammate has won a race in. Let's not forget.
Yeah, Kanga has been doing the majority of the heavy lifting.
Well, Kanga's made him look
points-wise.
ridiculous.
Yeah, bear in mind, Wagner is a world champion. 2015, he beat Ruiz. He's one of, I think he's the only person to ever beat Ruiz in a teammate battle. He is.
Possibly, yeah.
That's over a full season, obviously. Because obviously, I think Ruiz did step into the Franklin in late 2013.
For one race, yeah. He was with Ingram for a few races before that.
But over a full season, yeah, Wagner's the only person to beat Ruiz, and that, like, you know, what's happened? He's just nowhere. Can't switch on in that car.
I think that's been the most unexpected, one-sided teammate battle, hasn't it? I mean, you know, you look at the likes of Halverson and Garcia. Well, everyone was expecting Halverson to walk over Garcia, and well, he has. But Wagner and Kanga, I think people were very much like Ruiz and Simon were really intrigued to see. But Kanga has absolutely done a number.
I will say also, we weren't expecting. I would say in the same vein, we also weren't expecting Giordano and Beckenbauer to be so one-sided. So we've seen quite a few surprising.
Yeah, but I think, to be fair, even that's been slightly more equal than. You know, Beckenbauer, at least on pace, sometimes has been there. Wagner just hasn't.
Yeah, as he's he's definitely holding these guys up behind him now. So he's not. His tyres are pretty much toast, but yeah, he's not really shown that. Again, we talk, like, you know, that little bit extra, that little something special that won him his title. Well, it wasn't really something special. It was Ruiz just spinning and hitting people all the time. But you know, it's hard to figure out what's going on, because it's obviously, like you say, it's a car that won the race, albeit through an incredibly lucky strategy call. But the fact of the matter is, it still won a race. And yeah, that's just really disappointing for Wagner to not be able to deliver the goods. But then he's been at the team for a long time now, so it could be that he's maybe craving possibly, I don't know, a change of environment. Because, you know, sometimes you do need to keep it fresh for a driver to kind of reinvigorate them, almost kind of get them back invested in the sport in a much more excited capacity, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, we've got Wagner still under pressure then from Vasquez, who has done well to defend from the Ingram, but obviously on the softer tyres, although I suppose he's pitting this lap.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Oh. I am here, I was just letting you run.
What? Because I kind of like pause. And
no, you were in a flow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I should imagine Wagner will dive in. Well, I mean, I think Wagner's just completing lap 29, isn't he? So yeah, so it'll be the end of the next lap. But they've got Marcus Thunder rapidly approaching them.
Yes, he's also about to pit though.
He is, yes, of course.
So he's just going to drop off. He's doing. The Lucases are doing quite well to make those extra softs work, I will say.
They certainly. I mean, you know, at this point, you'd expect them to just be a mile behind anyone, wouldn't you? Frankly.
Yeah. I kind of wish we could have seen what, like, one of the front runners on extra softs and see what that looked like, because that could have been, especially with Hoskins creating that little pit window. As speaking of Hoskins, he has now passed the requirement for a one-stop strategy.
Yes.
So he'll be pitting one time.
Matson as well.
Yeah, Matson has also made, well, yeah.
I was going to say, he's kind of making them work. He's in 7th, but the guys behind have caught him very quickly.
Indeed. Oh, how's his pits? How's his pits? He is on pits. Oh, it's very nice, looking for an outside line there at turn 8. That was not good. Gonna work? Not really.
Yeah, Powers pits.
Yeah, so that's. Wait, who else was that in the pits then? I thought I saw someone.
No, I think just the race leader as Klaas van Schnauer takes back the lead. Where's Powers going to come back out there? Surely he's not going to get ahead of Adrian Simon.
He is.
Let's go. Oh, not quite.
No.
Not quite then.
Obviously, a lot of respect between these two. Both former world champions. Wait, Powers is former world champions. You know, both been in the sport from day one at the front of the field. That's Zylander having a little look as Verenas now. So Verenas has lost a lot of ground to Vasquez. Considering he was pressuring him quite heavily. That's yeah, interesting. But yeah, you know, they both know exactly how to drive, like, you know, with each other, wheel to wheel. They know how to give an inch but not take a mile. Huge amount of respect between these two.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I can't imagine Powers is going to be sat there too much longer, is he?
No, he's really hounding that Porsche Matthew. He's going to be looking for any which way past. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it into the next chicane.
We didn't do it into turn 9 like he did last time, but yeah, you'd imagine he's going to have a run here.
Yeah, here we go. No, wait. Yeah,
pulling out on Simon.
Oh,
easy as you like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that was Simon just letting him go, running his own race. There's no point in him fighting back there. He's only going to slow himself down. You would have thought maybe he could have acted as a bit of a rear guard for a vanguard for Ruiz there, trying to act as a rear gunner, but yeah,
I'll tell you what,
no dice.
I think that shows you how much time Powers actually lost out in the sort of end of his stint once the, you know, Klaas and two Master Porsches
go around the outside of Verenas here, and Giordano's going to follow him through. Is he to get a pinch of the apex?
He gave him the outside line for the final corner.
Yeah, and he's driven around the outside of him.
Yeah, Verenas all over the curb on the inside. That's yeah. Well, I mean, Giordano will absolutely get this one done now into the final corner, won't he? I should imagine Verenas will cover the inside line. The Italian sweeps around the outside of turn 1 and up into 11th.
Yeah, Verenas started last lap off in the points and started this lap off in 12th. That is not how the Lithuanian wants to be spending his afternoon, but he's still doing very well, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, given the pace of that car and where we'd normally expect it to be, yes.
I was just going to say, Ryan has also done quite a good job. I think he's on the hard tyres.
Is he?
I'm not sure. You go have a look. Why don't I have a look? I can just use my eyes. Well, in that case, he's done a really good job. Lifting himself up in the 14th position after what, qualifying? I don't know. It was low. He didn't have a good time on Saturday.
No, he didn't. So, I mean, obviously started a little bit higher because a number of teams were excluded from the qualifying times for missing the strategy deadline. But yeah, Ryan, I think mentioned briefly earlier, his practice problems persisted and only just about managed to get one lap in right at the end of qualifying that was only good enough for ahead of Ledesma.
Considering that he set pretty much one lap before actually going into the race, that's why I think this is such a phenomenal job. And for me, that's borderline driver of the day material. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, but I think Hunter Ryan, you know, it's really easy to overlook him, but I think he's actually done a really, really good job in that Ocelot this year.
Yeah, and he
bearing in mind how rapidly it seems to have dropped off the pace as well.
Oh yes, it's been a rather rapid fall from the Greys. That was really Colin Firthy. I didn't like that. Mind you, no one likes Colin Firth anyway. I'm going to go on a rant about Colin Firth now. He's just...
I wouldn't, no.
I hate it. I will tell you why I hate him real quick. Because it's purely because of a college near where I live called Barton Pepper.
Oh, I'm going to cut across you because that is Nathaniel Powers looking down the inside of Enrico Ruiz then for second place. He's not going to quite make that one work there. But the Brit now all over the back of one of his main title rivals. And I can't imagine this is going to be much longer at all before Powers goes through into second.
See, what happened is Powers is a big Colin Firth fan, and he knew that I was about to start chatting shit. So he knew that the inside line wasn't going to work. He just wanted to make sure you interrupted me. That's all.
Was it?
Yeah, that was never going to come off there. But he's just, you know, letting Ruiz know I'm here and I'm not here to mess about. I don't think Enrique's going to have a lot to fight back with, to be honest.
No, you should imagine this will be fairly comfortable for Powers once he gets the move lined up properly. But he doesn't want to be sat there too long because he is losing out to his teammate now.
Yeah, he is.
6 seconds back from Class. That's a gap that, I mean, they've all got, what, one more stop to make now. So that's a gap he's going to have to close down. And he's going to have to pass Class if he's going to take this win. Pass Class, yeah.
And they're also going to pit around the same time, so no one's going to have like a fresh tyre advantage. I suppose Powers are going to have a softer tyre advantage, but yeah, I think it's really gonna heat up at the end here. I do love a heated end. One bum joke.
You're terrible.
Oh, I hope everyone's missed me. I've missed me being under the box. Wait. Oh, and I'm back. That's official.
Will Hoskins, it's
Still
just going to try and go back to the race. Yes, it's not working for Hoskins. He's not pitted yet, and he's 9 seconds behind his teammate.
What's really fun for him is he's going to find himself down in 13th place behind Alvarez.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
On slower tyres, with the guys in front having plenty of time to pull away. Matson as well actually might not make this
there we
work.
go, Hoskins pits.
Lap 34, better late than never.
Yeah, so this is a absolute nailed on one stop for Will Hoskins. I should imagine Matson will follow him in. Indeed he does. And yeah, so Hoskins is going to come back out in what? 12th now?
Yes, sorry, I forgot Matson existed. So yeah, 12th.
Yeah, indeed, he just really about gets ahead of Hunter Ryan. But, I mean, to be fair, Hoskins is, what, 2 seconds back from Alvarez? I can't see that gap closing.
No, I can see the gap gaping, to be honest. Well, I could have used a better word.
You absolutely could have done.
As the sun begins to set, we
yeah,
move into this. I really like that. We move into the kind of later stage of the race as the sun sets on the Turkish circuit, as also Garcia and Domenicali pit.
Yeah, we were. It was certainly interesting to turn up the other day and suddenly be informed the race time had been moved and we'd be starting later.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think anyone was too upset about it.
No, it certainly makes for a different challenge.
Yeah, and it'll that's interesting. The Meteors didn't pit, probably because they're so slow. Their tyres just aren't warm enough.
I was going to say they're still pretty much fresh.
They're going to go for the no stop because they can.
Why is Domenicali 25th?
Why is Powers struggling to keep that gap tight to Ruiz? He's really suffered.
A big sideways moment then from Enrique Ruiz, and that could give Powers a chance now. But Ruiz, I think, is going to cover the outside line. He's obviously learning here that, well, it's the inside where you lose out, and they're going to be aided by, that is Felix Bayer, isn't it, as they lap him, coming into turn 8.
Yeah, and that lets Domenicali. Whoa, Domenicali, that was nice.
Yeah, very nice.
He saw that Bayer was obviously, if you go too slowly through that corner, the aerodynamics of the car aren't operating as efficient as they should be. You're not going to have that downforce to actually put the power down. So I think that's what happened to Bayer, and Domenicali just swooped around and said thank you very much.
Absolutely. I think Powers might be close enough this time round. As it might actually be too close then as they head into the final sector of the lap. And yeah, I don't think he's quite going to make anything of this.
Yeah, so Ruiz doing everything he needs to here, doing everything right. Giordano's got past Vasquez. And it's very nice. What's happened there?
Who's that?
Giordano has just shot up 2 places.
Oh, good on him.
I missed it.
Oh yeah, and he's a couple of seconds clear as well. That's all.
Might be contact there.
I'll tell you what, Hoskins has caught Alvarez.
Oh, that's not what anyone was expecting.
No. What? How was that? I wonder if. So with Giordano now gaining 2 places and a reasonable what's it ahead, if Vasquez and Zveranas have maybe just held one another up a bit, I wonder if that's what's put Hoskins on the back of Alvarez. But Alvarez now through past Zveranas then, up into 10th. Hoskins going to go around the outside as well. I certainly didn't expect to see Will Hoskins making an overtake today.
Absolutely not. Speaking of overtakes, Giordano lifts himself up to 7th. These medium tyres really switching on in the cool attempts here for Giordano, while other people seem to be kind of going backwards.
I'll tell you what though, after his, what we assume was a slightly botched pit stop earlier on, Halverson has dropped the hammer, hasn't he? 7 seconds up the road from Giordano.
He's just said, thank you very much, punched his card and checked out. He wants to get gone. He knows that I think he's probably got a little message from the team saying Hoskins is on the prowl. That sounds a bit more predatory than it needs to. Hoskins is on the pace. Yeah, I'm really surprised that those hard tyres are switching on.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, Halverson's got, what, 10 seconds in hand over Will Hoskins, so this might actually be, I mean, this could be a reasonable fight for 6th that I don't think we were expecting.
No. And it's
18 seconds.
We do like to see it.
18 seconds, 8 seconds then, sorry, in his final stint.
Yeah, and don't forget...
That's doable for Halverson, isn't it?
Halverson has got clear air. Hoskins has to make all these overtakes on people with, like, you know, softer rubber than him. He's going to have a hard time doing it.
He certainly does, but Halverson has to pit again.
Yeah, absolutely. But
so that'll be the interesting factor there.
Yeah, he's going to have those fresh tyres right at the end.
As we've got, is this... oh, this is Hoskins on Alvarez then again.
Hoskins, yeah, no dice there.
I just we briefly saw a Lucas and I got really confused because the camera cut.
What's that doing there?
Well, I mean, to be fair, he is only 4 seconds behind Will Hoskins, Marcus Thunder.
He will have to pit in 2 laps.
He will, but you know, and I think it's really going to hamper him. But I've been impressed by how well they've actually made the extra soft work.
Yeah, they have done.
Oh. You know, bearing in mind we were expecting a shambles.
Yes, we thought it was going to be a repeat of Bahrain, but do you know what? I think they've put softer tyres back on the market at this race because, to be quite frank, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'll tell you what I'm going to say. Ruiz doing an absolute number at the moment here for Klaas van Snelheid, isn't he?
He most certainly is.
Holding Powers back. Powers can't get any closer to his teammate. That gap still hovering around 5.5, 6 seconds. And all this is doing is aiding Klaas up front. I think what we thought was going to be a comfortable win for Nathaniel Powers, maybe not so.
It might have turned into a bit of a disaster here. I think obviously his tyres are naturally going to start going off soon. Both, well, to be fair, the medium tyres are also kind of going off here. I don't know how to cook. Well, they're going to be, aren't they? They're going to pit around the same time.
We are getting towards the pit stop window. Well, they're pretty much all going to come in about lap 45, aren't they?
Yeah, around that. It's going to be, as we've got, wow, look at that. Ryan is caught. Wait, I thought Ryan passed him. Wait, Ryan's on the soft, it looked like. It might have just been the lighting. Oh, that's Zylander and Vasquez going side by side down the main pit straight then. I think Zylander's got it on the straight.
You'd imagine so.
And yeah, around the outside.
Oh no, Vasquez! Vasquez brilliantly defends into turn 1 then. But, I mean, they're still absolutely wheel-to-wheel through turn 2 and into the left-hander of turn 3. It's going to be Vasquez with the inside line, but I think Zylander is going to take it, and now Alvarez is going to benefit as well then. Surely.
And all this is just hampering Hoskins, because obviously with 2 cars in the way instead of 1, he's got even more of a difficult time getting through.
Yeah, he'd closed the gap to Halverson to about 9 seconds, but it's back up now to the full 10, if not 10.5, as now Powers really harassing Enrique Ruiz. He's lost half a second in this lap to Klaas van Snelheid. So I think he suddenly realised. Yeah, we've got Hoskins.
Hoskins dropping down the order. I think Alvarez.
No, that Ingram does. Oh, that's Alvarez. Sergio Alvarez then without a left rear wheel and a rear wing, parked up at the side of the track. Alvarez is out of this race, and I think Will Hoskins is too. I'm going to assume 2 and 2 together and coming up with, I think, 4. They've come together. Quite
possibly. We're going to, I assume, see a replay in a moment. Bit naughty there. Carl Beckenbauer driving past Addison right at the scene of the accident. That was really not on.
Here we go then. So this is on board with Will Hoskins. Turned in far too early.
I don't know where he expected that Phoenix to go, to be honest.
No, he aimed for the apex with a Phoenix on his inside.
I don't know what he was... Yeah, that's... Oh my god.
Yeah, Zviranas very lucky there then, and then got caught out by the 2 damaged cars. But very lucky that the nose of his chassis sort of deflected that wheel away.
Yeah, that could have been really, really dangerous. Yeah, thank goodness that obviously the chassis, took that blow. Probably He probably felt it, don't get me wrong, but
Almost definitely.
I'd imagine the team are going to want to check him out after this race.
Yeah,
And
I should
maybe
imagine
also
we need a
check
new
out
race
the
suit, if nothing else.
integrity of the car.
As
Well, that could have been
Alvarez
really
and Hoskins then become the first 2 retirements here in Turkey today.
Yeah.
It took a while, didn't it?
Yeah, and that leaves Halverson free to just power away to 6th place. Giordano's got a couple of seconds back now, thanks to the battling that Zylander and Vasquez did, but there's no way he's going to catch that North Star.
I'll tell you what, I know he's got a pit at least twice more, but look at Marcus Thunder up in 12th.
Yeah, he's doing a stellar job. I think he's about to make it 11th.
Well, I think he's about to pit, to be honest.
I think you're about to pit. Shut up.
But
no.
Wagner and Beckenbauer there as well on the soft tyres, 13th and 14th at the moment. That's what have they got? They've got one more stop as well, haven't they?
Yep. Oh
So
wait,
everyone-
oh yeah. So Beckenbauer's really closed up now after that incident. Well, not really closed up, but yes, you know, he was about 5 seconds back. Now he's about 2. I'm looking for anything else. Oh, I don't. Hello. I saw a bit of movement there.
Bit of movement where? Thunder pits?
Thunder. There it is.
Never mind.
So Marcus Thunder, he'll probably actually come out. Yeah, he'll come out in 16th place.
I was
So
going to
that's
say,
not
yeah, he
too
won't be too
shabby.
far down. Matson's lost out. What happened
Hugely.
to Matson?
He just got mired down, I think.
Oh, was that in his when he made his pit stop?
Yeah. Oh,
What's he gonna?
no,
I mean, to be
wasn't that-
fair,
That's the
he's
second time. this has
still
happened in
got.
2 races.
He's what? He's 18 seconds behind Vasquez, so there's a better pit stop there.
Mm.
As it stands,
What's
Matson
happened?
could still be on for a point.
I think Zylander and Vasquez might have been battling because they've just cost themselves another couple of seconds. They need to be careful here that they don't actually, as you say, drop themselves into the clutches of John Matson, because if they end up behind him, they might have a harder time overtaking him than they reckon. Than they expect.
Well, I mean, they will have fresh soft tyres compared to what will be at that point, you know. Yep, that one. Fresh medium tyres compared to what that point will be
Again, they're
reasonably
getting into
worn
it.
hard tyres on the Jean Matson's car. But yeah, Vasquez now then on the outside of Thierry Zylander, and I think that's going to be a fairly easy move for the Colombian, and indeed through he goes.
Look
Into
at those brakes glow in the twilight. See, like, this is something that you usually only get from like endurance racing. Like, you love to see it.
It
It's
is,
such
but
a-
it is getting quite dark out there now.
Oh, Bradley's worried about walking home after the race. Doesn't want to get stabbed by a Turkish man.
No, Bradley's worried they forgot to put the lights on the car.
Oh. Well, just put on stickers, you know, like Lightning McQueen. You know, what's his famous line? Kerchoo, or something like that. I don't know, I don't watch Disney movies.
Cars is amazing.
Cars are amazing, yes, but, like, I don't know what that has to do with it. Actually, I just want to talk about, like, Giordano was about 10 seconds off of Halverson, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you are mistaken.
Was he only 7
Hoskins
seconds
was about
off?
10 seconds off of Halverson.
Right, yeah.
Probably
I'm
about
thinking
4 or 5
Hoskins
places back
got
from
one.
Giordano. Yeah,
I was like, hang on, Giordano's kind of like making inroads here, but he's not.
I know what you're hoping for. I don't think it's quite.
It's not gonna happen. I know. I already said we're not gonna like beat it for P6, but I was just interested as to whether Halverson had something like a mistake. Even like, yeah, I don't know.
No, I think Halverson just, you know, to be fair, the team have probably come on the radio and gone, do you know what, Johan, just bring it home now.
Chill out, buddy.
You've got a solid. Oh, as that's Ruiz sweeping around the outside to lap Halverson's teammate Gabriele Garcia. That's cost Powers a little bit of time. Look at them. The pair of them are now some 7-8 seconds behind Klaas van Snelheid. Stuck behind Ruiz. This is really not helping Powers whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. And I've got to say, it's hard to look past that gap now. It's going to
Isn't
be
it
quite a lot
just?
to overcome. Especially since, you know, the final car that he needs to overtake when his tyres will be the least fresh is someone in the same equipment. Like, that's a rough draw.
Yeah, when you consider they're both going to have, you know, tyres that are fairly new in the final stint of this race. Yeah, this is going to be a hard ask now, I feel, for Nathaniel Powers.
Hard what?
A hard ask.
Oh.
Clean your ears out and your mind.
I think you know exactly what I thought you said. So
I do. I know exactly what you think I thought I said.
Hey, my mind is pure as
Rubbish.
honey.
Rubbish.
I'm
There's
really
Klaas van Snelheid puts a lap then on Alar Kanga.
Yes, he does. He's
Next
done that.
Target will be Timo Kinnaman.
Got...
Thunder came back out in 16th. He's got another stop, hasn't he? I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
I was going to say it might not be looking too bad actually, but yeah, no, that's going to suck.
Oh, but you know he's going to get lapped, so he's only going to have one less lap to do. Here we go again. Alvarez.
Zylander coming back at him.
Yeah, so these two, I think they might in all this battling, they might have just cost themselves a shot at 7th place.
Yeah, so they're now only 16 seconds clear of Jean Matson. So once they pit, I mean, you've got to assume Matson's going to come out in... Matson's going to be 8th.
Yeah, mind you, I was going to say... This battling is actually... I'll tell you another reason this battling is really foolish. Giordano extended his stint, which left him vulnerable to the undercut, which obviously, you know, Zylander, Vazquez, and Zverinas, and probably Ryan now.
Oh, Powers pulls out late on the inside of Enrique Ruiz, but he goes for the inside line, and that is not going to work. And Powers must be really frustrated now.
He's going to basically do what the Lego man does and turn his face around to the angry face and start, you know, really trying to get past. Don't know why that was my reaction.
We're on to lap 45. Powers is going to pit this lap, isn't he?
I think he's scheduled to. Whether he tries to, well, he's
going to come out comfortably in clear air between Simon and Perez.
Yeah.
And that, I think it will be a lap or two at least before the medium tire runners pit. That clear air will easily, you'd imagine, see Powers pass Ruiz.
100%, as we've got a yellow flag in the middle sector here. What's happening? Who's going down the order?
Oh, that's Thunder. Marcus Thunder then, who for Lucas was having a really good race on a very unfancied tyre. I don't think it was going to yield points, but it was, you know, to be fair, from the penultimate row of the grid, a pretty solid performance. But yeah, well that's that one at an end then, and that's a Downton engine on fire. That's not a sight we've seen an awful lot this season, is it?
No, normally it's the Porsche. So we'll be, I imagine, the Downton boys will be keeping a close eye on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if that would just put some nerves onto the Downton pit wall.
Yeah, that's a little bit of concern for them. Beckenbauer has caught up to the back of Zverinas here for a little bit of a... Oh, that's Powers!
Oh, it is!
Powers around the outside, he finally makes the move on the lap that he's going to pit. So I don't know why he's done that, really. Straight
into the pit lane. Nathaniel Powers then deciding he doesn't want to quite just do it on the under the pit stops, and does actually make the overtake before he dives into the pit lane then from 2nd place.
Yeah, little lock up. He really had taken the last out of those tyres. So sitting in that dirty air, I'll tell you what might happen here. To be fair, is obviously his soft tyres are going to be pretty shoddy by the end of the race, but the mediums are still going to be in a pretty good condition. He needs to make the impact immediately, otherwise
Ruiz might come back at him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he's not got out ahead of Perez, has he?
No. Oh, it was a long
just about then. Yeah. Nathaniel Powers just about side by side with Felix Perez and clears the Mexican. But yeah, that was, well, I don't know, to be fair, yeah, he's about 18 seconds back from Ruiz, so obviously their battling must have just helped Perez close up that little bit.
And also, I'm keeping an eye on the gap for 8th. You're absolutely right, Matson is still set to actually get that position off of them and force them to battle him for it, which is, that's going to be a bit juicy, isn't it? All these fresh medium-tired runners, as we go, yeah, we got Wagner in the pits now. I imagine Beckenbauer, nope, carries on.
Yeah, well, Beckenbauer went longer on his first stint, didn't he?
Yeah, fat lot of good it did him.
Well, I don't know, he's 12th.
Yeah, he was like 13th.
Nick Addison up there in 13th. I mean, I know it's not much higher than where he qualified, but it's, you know, to be ahead of quite a few established midfield runners, that's a solid effort.
It's also going to be Franklin's best result besides their point-scoring finish, if he keeps it up. So, yeah.
Yeah, but not quite enough to move them ahead of Lucas. I think Lucas have a 10th and 2 12ths.
I think I have an 11th.
I don't think they do.
No, you're right. I think it's 2 12ths. Imagine Like, there's a big coming together. Wait, Addison's on the hards. No, he's not. He's on the mediums. I'm an idiot. Carry on.
I was going. If Addison was on the hards, this would be an amazing performance.
Yeah. It's like, hang on a minute. How's he snuck up there? But he has not. He's just got there.
I'll tell you what. Look at that. Powers has already pulled away. 2 seconds from Felix Perez in 1 lap.
Yeah, he really needs to get the. He knows he needs to get the hammer down, get the lap times in, and really close in on his teammate. He's got. Well, that's going to be. He's obviously going to be. Hang on, is he? Yeah, he'll have cleared Ruiz and Simon.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, he's a net 3 seconds clear of Ruiz. So what? 6 behind Klaas van Snelheid.
So if Klaas wants to like kind of keep his lead at a reasonable gap, he's going to need to come in now or next lap.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to want those fresh medium tyres as soon as he can take them. But it was the Mathshaw Porsches that pitted first in the first round of pit stops, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
As in comes Beckenbauer then for his final stop on the soft-tyred compound.
Something I'd like to talk about, and Rob won't like me for it. Simon, he's got what, 2-3 wins here? He knows this track so well.
He won the first 3 races.
He's been shown the way all day long. He's not looked anywhere close to challenging his teammate.
I mean, he's only 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a Kinnaman gap, really, isn't it?
As Nathaniel Powers bangs in the fastest lap, and really, that's a statement of intent, isn't it?
It certainly is. He's going to have a bit of traffic, though, to contend with here.
Yeah, that's going to be Kanga, isn't it?
Kangaroo. It's funny because his name is Kanga, and his team owner is Australian. So when I say Kanga, I think of a kangaroo. So I said kangaroo because it's an amalgamation of his name and an animal that is prominently, what Australia is well known for.
Are you happy now that you've explained that?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
I had fun. My skin's coming apart, man.
As
Sorry. That was meant to be an inside thought, not an outside one.
I'll tell you what, Powers has got that gap down under 23 seconds. He only needs to make it to 18.
He's caught by like a second.
I was going to say he's 4.5 away. This could be really close indeed. And I'm not entirely sure when Klaas is going to pit. I can't remember what lap times or what lap they pitted on the first time round.
I think it might have been lap 25. Oh, chilly.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, 20. Ruiz pits then at the end of lap 40. That's got to be the end of lap 48, hasn't it? Yeah. So Simon follows him. Oof, that was close.
Yeah, just to perfection.
Jesus. As so Powers easily goes through into second place then. As he puts it. He tries to put a lap on Kanga at turn 1, but Kanga has the outside line.
That's crucial. He's just dropped a second to Klaas with that. Perez, get past, just for fun. I know you have to pit, but go on.
Yeah, Perez then on Enrique Ruiz. Ruiz has just left the pit lane. Perez all over the curb, but he does take Enrique Ruiz for 3rd place.
That is not good for Enrique Ruiz. Obviously, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Like, Perez probably pit this lap, but funny.
Yeah, well, that's what Ruiz is some 6 seconds behind Powers now, and Powers is on a softer compound of tyre. I think that's done and dusted, to be fair. There's only 9 laps to go.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to come up with a phrase I could say to say back, but I wasn't listening to you at all.
I wasn't listening to me either, I wouldn't worry.
Addison pits.
That's Klaas van Snelheid.
Wait, Powers lost another second.
Yeah, so Powers lost some time then in these last couple of laps as Van Snelheid dives into the pit lane, and I think the Dutchman is going to come out quite handily in the lead here as we go on board with Nathaniel Powers through the final section then. Where is Klaas van Snelheid? He's left his pit box, trundling down the pit lane. It's such a slow speed. But he's going to do this comfortably, absolutely comfortably. It's Klaas van Snelheid in the pit exit, heads into turn 2. He's going to be clear of Gabriele Garcia, who's a lap down, and it's some 4.5 second gap then back to his teammate.
So if you take a look there, Powers has got at least Gabriele Garcia and Enzo Domenicali between himself and his teammate. That's going to be the key difference. He's trying to get past that lap traffic in a way that actually allows him to chase down class. Otherwise, he's not going to have a shot at this. And his tyres are already 5 lap, like a third of the way through their life.
Yeah, they certainly are. And the class now on some fresh medium tyres as Felix Perez still hasn't pitted, still holding up Enrique Ruiz. I wonder if, I mean, you know, if we had complete control, it'd be at this point, I think, that first would just go, do you know what, we're just going to gamble and see what happens if we leave him out there.
Oh, absolutely. At the end, like, barring, obviously, any risk to the driver's safety, you absolutely would be trying to just eke out those tyres as long as you could to see if you can make it work.
Certainly would, as Ruiz looking really racy, then dives down the inside. That was late, and that was brilliant from the Brazilian.
I don't think Perez quite expected him to be there, but, you know, he gave him enough space and he got out of the way and avoided the crash.
I don't think Ruiz quite expected to be there. As Nathaniel Powers still struggling to put a lap on Enzo Domenicali, now finally does it at the final corner, but he's now 5.5 seconds behind Klaas van Snelheid, and there's 8 laps to run. I can't see it happening.
He's going defensive.
Yeah, Powers has to defend from Domenicali and so on. That allows Kanga to go through past the Italian into 19th.
Well done, Kanga. That's a good job. And that was really mean again.
We've still not seen any of the other medium-tired runners pit. Perez.
Halverson is dropping time.
He is, yeah. The gap now just 2 seconds back to Giordano.
No, it's dropping time. Oh, hang on. It's coming back. What's going on?
I wonder if Halverson's just been caught up behind some back markers. He pits.
Oh, that makes sense. I think he must have been, yeah.
So Halverson dives in then. He's the first of these kind of midfield runners to make his stop. Giordano carries on. Vasquez and Zylander follow him in then. So they're all going for the undercut on Giordano. But, I mean, Giordano had enough of a gap, didn't he, over these guys behind?
Oh, absolutely. But do they have enough of a gap? Obviously, Halverson does. But Matson... Where is he? Let's give us an on board with Matson. Where is he?
Hey, he's just coming down the pit straight now then.
Speeding through. And
yeah, Matson easily through past a lot of them.
And that was a long stop for all of them, to be fair.
No, it wasn't. That's just how close Matson was.
Oh.
Jean Matson then goes back through into 8th place. Now going to have to defend for his life if he's to take some points here, but...
Absolutely. I think he's capable of it.
Oh, he'll be well up for the challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go then. Powers trying to clear Gabriele Garcia.
Why? He's now 7 seconds behind Klaas nearly.
He's done it. He's done it into turn 1. He's managed to just do it on the straight as Kanga again follows through.
Kanga's taking this beautifully, isn't he? He's just, you know, he's picked up Powers' slipstream and just following him.
Yeah, he's gone with the wind.
As Perez finally pits then from 3rd place, which releases Enrique Ruiz. And Perez will rejoin in a very solid but incredibly lonely 5th place.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I think Ruiz was pretty keen for that release.
Oh, I should almost certainly imagine he was. As is... I tell you what, that's Wagner and Beckenbauer. They're attacking Vasquez.
Oh, really?
Wagner through then on Vasquez up into 10th. Beckenbauer now coming out the Colombian as well. And they've made their stop. They made it a few laps ago. Giordano now dives into the pits then. Those soft tyres have really come into their own on the final stint. This could yield a great result.
Hey Carl, look where you could be if you weren't shit. His fellow, his compatriot there, lifting himself up into the points. And it's hard to look past him to stay there, really. Obviously, he's got those that softer rubber. That said, Vasquez is keenly poised to come back at him. Oh, as we see how many people...
Yeah, that's how many laps they completed.
Hopkins didn't manage a lot.
So Halverson and Giordano, I think, are probably fairly comfortable, aren't they? 6th and 7th. As that was their last lap time.
Real fast.
Wow, look at that. Klaas was 7/10 quicker than Powers.
Giordano was 16 seconds faster than Halverson.
Halverson
I know, I'm joking.
Yeah, there we go, right. We've got the times back, that's what we were after. So yeah, so Giordano about 4.5, 5 seconds back from Halverson.
Not undoable.
It's not, but they're on the same compound of tyre, and I think the North Star is... I mean, they're fairly equal on car performance.
Let's be honest. No. The North Star is faster, let's be honest.
Is it? Looking at recent races?
I think here, where we've got some high aero sectors, that's where North Star have been able to claw some performance back.
I think overall, the two cars are very equal. Matson in 8th, I think, is the big question mark now. He's got Thierry Zylander all over him already. Elroy Wagner, James Vasquez and Carl Beckenbauer all closing up pretty quickly here.
Yeah, he's going to be under... I reckon this is going to end in tears. There's going to be contact. Here we go. So it looks like Zylander might be about to have a go. No, he's probably just gone for the inside there.
Certainly could be. Well, this is it then. So this is the squabble for 8th place, and I think this is going to change quite a lot before we see it at the checkered flag.
Yeah, obviously the drivers as well, now in the dark. The floodlights not really that effective at this circuit. They're not...
They're really not, are they?
They're not designed for a nighttime race, so we're just gonna... This is a real test of the driver's skill, to be fair.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see the sun there in the distance, setting behind the mountains.
My son.
No, the sun.
Go on, my son.
As
Powers
Zylander following through Jean Matson in turn 8. Absolutely in the wheel tracks of the Ingram. Surely Zylander has to make a move somewhere here, because he's got Wagner, Vasquez, Beckenbauer all over the back of him, swarming like flies.
Chomping at the bit to try and get through, but it's going to be... Yeah, it's kind of going to come down to this. Vasquez goes for the inside line, he's going to lose that place, but if he just stays in the slipstream, then he risks... Oh, here we go, Wagner's then pulling out to the outside line.
I was going to say, Zylander's been boxed in behind Matson. Wagner is going to go around the outside of the pair of them into 8th place. A brilliant move from the German. Vasquez follows him through. James Vasquez has also got Zylander and Matson, and he's up into 9th. Zylander now tries up the inside of Matson into the final corner, but I don't think he's quite going to make that one work. Is Matson now going to cover the inside line at turn 1 to give Zylander the run? No, it's Zylander who goes to the inside. That's going to give the position surely to Beckenbauer.
No. He gets a bit bogged out there, because for some reason Matson just can't. I think he might have had a moment going in and had to catch it, but yeah, so that has gone terribly for Zylander and Beckenbauer. They are now stuck behind the hard-tired shod.
I mean, Matson. To be fair, Beckenbauer's exactly where he was.
Yeah, but he's lost that ground, like the actual time itself, because obviously they, Wagner, Vasquez, they're going to drive into the distance now.
Yeah, for sure. The one that really cost though was Thierry Zylander. He got boxed in behind John Matson as they came down into the left-hander, as we have a yellow flag in the first sector.
Let's see who it is.
Can't see anything obvious on the timing screen, and it's gone.
It's been a quick little moment.
Yeah, but yeah, Zylander got boxed in there behind John Matson, and Vasquez and Wagner used that to just run around the outside.
Yeah, they absolutely did. Yeah, Hunter Ryan is now closing up to the back of these guys. He wants a slice of the pie as well. He sniffs a point. Obviously, they are still battling out for 10th place. Yeah,
they certainly are. As this now, Zylander's been boxed in again, as Carl Beckenbauer now looks on the outside. Zylander's going to dive for the inside on Jean Matson. And to be fair, I think that's the furthest alongside we've seen anyone get on the inside line. But Beckenbauer surely is going to use this to take 11th place. Zylander is going to fight it as much as he can, but it's not going to work. Hunter Ryan looks to try and take advantage as well, but isn't quite going to manage that one, as Matson clinging on to 10th place with everything that he's got.
Like his life depends on it now. Like Carl, obviously, these will be he could score his 5th point this year.
To be fair, Wagner's not on for much better, but he's currently 8th. That's a
bit of an accomplishment.
Yeah. As we see race leader Klaas van Snelheid then, who has managed that 7-8 second gap to Nathaniel Powers. He hasn't let it close whatsoever, and Klaas, 3 laps to go. You should imagine he's going to pick up his 2nd win of the season now.
It's looking like he's on for it, I'm not going to lie. I'm really surprised by it, but he's done fantastically to keep his pace up. Powers, I think, just lost too much behind the back markers and just took too much out of his tyres too early on.
Well, I think the biggest thing was when he was stuck behind Ruiz. That was what cost him.
Yeah, that did also cost him a lot of time.
That it did, I mean, he was there for a good, 15 laps?
Oh, 15. Well,
no, because that's an entire stint, so a good 10 laps or so.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We've got... that's Vasquez past Wagner. And Beckenbauer past Matson.
Wagner coming back at him. Wagner around the outside then of James Vasquez and takes back 8th place. He's determined not to give up those 4 points. As behind them, we didn't quite see it, but Beckenbauer goes through on Matson into 10th. Hunter Ryan takes his opportunity up the inside of the final corner to go past Thierry Zylander for 12th. This really has fallen apart for Zylander, hasn't it, in the closing laps?
Right at the death of it as well. That's so heartbreaking for the Brazilian. He's Belgian.
He is
They're from
Belgian.
different parts of the world.
Totally different.
Oh, those both start with B and end with N. Like bean.
Belgium ends with M.
Belgian. And
I'll give you that one.
Thank you. Bean. So another inside thought that slipped out.
As we go on board with James Vasquez now, he's lost quite a bit of ground to Elroy Wagner. Wagner could be on for some really solid points here, and let's be fair, Lopez need these. They're coming under intense pressure from, well, I mean, North Star have gone and disappeared into the distance, haven't they, really, in the championship? But they're coming under pressure from Ingram.
So to gain points on them is really big.
Absolutely, and let's be fair, unexpected.
Yeah.
You know, but I think what this has shown is actually the soft tyre was a really viable option here today.
Absolutely was, and it's surprising that it's actually come to the fore in the later stage of the race rather than earlier on. But well, I suppose actually with cooler temps, no, because it hasn't really cooled down a lot despite the sunset. So I don't know. This is a weird one, but
I think it's just
whatever.
I think it always looked as though it was going to work out this, but just because those on the soft tyres were always pitting so much more frequently, they were you know, further down the order and never looked like it. But yeah, shaken out as that Zylander looking on the inside of Matson into turn. That's never going to work. He's still stuck. He's going to be so infuriated.
Yeah, he's going to be livid with himself here. They had a really strong chance to build on that gap that they just got to Westwood. They just pulled in front, and now Westwood are going to pull 5 points in front of them.
Yeah, they're going to lose a significant chunk here to Westwood. In fact, how far are Westwood behind Ocelot?
I don't know. How many points are Ocelot on? Because we're on
34.
28. We're going to pass them.
Yeah.
If it's finished as they are.
If it finishes as it is, then Westwood are going to gain 2 places in the Constructors' Championship. We'll obviously wrap all that up at the end. But on board with Nathaniel Powers, he's 7 seconds behind Klaas van Snelheid. There's nothing happening. It's the final lap. It's Klaas van Snelheid.
It's not going to happen.
He'll be very pleased with this, as I think he'll view it as something of a redemption after last time out.
Yeah, we don't talk about.
We have talked about it. We've discussed it, and we've moved on. Hopefully.
Simon! No, Simon closed right up to Ruiz in the last stint there.
Well, he's gained, about half a second.
Oh, I thought he was like 10 seconds back.
No, he was only ever 5.
Like, numbers aren't my strong suit. Zylander loses another place to Ryan, but I'll let you...
not gone well then for the Belgium. As Vasquez has got through on Wagner, but we'll come to that later on then, because Klaas van Snelheid rounds the final corner here in Turkey. He picked up the win last year on the medium tyres. Only 2 drivers have ever won in Turkey, and Klaas keeps it at that. Van Snelheid wins then the 2020 Turkish V-Prix. Nathaniel Powers will come home second on those soft tyres and will absolutely rue being stuck behind this man here, Enrico Rees, who will collect the final podium position in third. It looked, for all intents and purposes, early on, as though Powers was going to run away with this one. But it wasn't to be then. He couldn't get the overtakes done when they mattered. As is that a smoking first?
Surely not.
It is. Yes, Perez then smoking away, as that's one of the Chimas unlapping themselves, but Perez will just about drag this then to the finish line for a solid, if unspectacular, and exceedingly lonely 5th place. First will be grateful he's made that to the finish line, though. They've got a solid run of point scoring finishes going on at the moment.
Yeah, you
and
can see
we'll
that
be keen to keep that one
right
up.
Now.
Johan Halverson will take, you should imagine, a comfortable 6th place ahead of Giordano, but it's all going on behind them. As we say, Vasquez then has gone past Wagner for 8th.
Yes, he has, and Wagner's got a run here, possibly. This is his last chance. I don't think it's going to happen.
Giordano takes the line then in 7th. I think Vasquez, they're already through into the pit straight, and it's going to be 8th then for James Vasquez, 9th for Elroy Wagner, Carl Beckenbauer picking up 10th. But I tell you what, Klaas van Snelheid, he got those overtakes done early on the same tyres as the 2 Matthew Short Porsches. Through past Simon, through past Rees. Got himself into that position where Powers couldn't. And Klaas van Snelheid wins in Turkey. So there we have it then. After 58 laps of Istanbul Park, it's Klaas van Snelheid for the second year in a row who comes out on top. Nathaniel Powers on those soft tyres got held up behind Enrique Ruiz, couldn't find his way past, and that really put paid to his race. Ruiz then completing the podium just ahead of Adrian Simon. It's more strong points for Vasquez, for Halverson, and for Giordano and Westwood as well, and that means a lot in the Constructors' Championship, as we'll see in a moment. Will Hoskins, Sergio Alvarez, a notable retirement, collision early on, as Powers sets the fastest lap, and also retains his lead in the Drivers' Championship. Then it's 8 points, and it's over Klaas van Snelheid now, who moves into second place. He has 7 in hand over Enrique Ruiz. Movements further down as well in the midfield as that shuffles up. We've got Vasquez gaining another place for the second race in a row. The Colombian, well, after his really torrid start to the season, now in a really strong run of form. We'll be hoping that continues as Ingram look to hunt down Lopez and North Star ahead of them in the Constructors' Championship. And that gap now has reduced. They are just 5 points behind Lopez. It's slightly further to North Star, but I'm sure they'll give it their all. Westwood as well have gained 2 places past Ocelot and Phoenix, while Downton up front are now 63 points clear of Mathishaw Porsche and seemingly well on their way. But that's all from our race here today in Turkey. So from me and Lily, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 13 from Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium.